So 4 years in Madrid waiting for Mbappe to wear like the Real Madrid jersey. Don't you feel a bit too bad to leave the years finally coming to Madrid?
A bit of a pity that I will go, I think 4 days before Kylian to be introduced in Bernabeu, but
well, I think
we'll
Madrid wins a star in Mbappe and loses a star with Antoine leaving to stand for it. Can you maybe like give the audience a better understanding of, what you've done? How did your career kind of evolve? And, like just give them like a better, understanding of why did I push you? There was a reason why I pushed you, obviously.
No, for sure. Indeed, yes, I worked for 12 years in a telecommunication group, mainly present in Europe and Africa. The desire to join this group came from this stay in Seoul 12 years ago where we met. At this time in Europe, we basically didn't have smartphones yet, but in Korea, people were watching TV on their mobile on the subway. The fridge were already connected. And my thought was, oh my God, if this is about to come to Europe, I want to be part of it. And indeed, at my level, I was part of it because I participated in the democratization of smartphones in France. Then I moved to Poland for the rollout and the business development of fiber to the home. Then we launched the conversion package in Poland. Then I came to manage the mobile business in Spain, so through the launch of 5G. So I could really feel I was part of it. Point is also, at this stage of my career, I came back to, why did I join telcos? And it was because it has a very profound impact in the life of everyone, and I could feel what I was doing. It's true that over the last years, unfortunately, the perceived value of telco has decreased, has become little by little commodity. People consider it more like electricity, water, gas, that it is normal, that you have a pretty good network coming to your mobile, that your home is connected to 1 gig internet without perceiving the value.
Can you walk us through your thought process for those few weeks where you were, navigating between, hey, do I want to disrupt my career fully? Do I want to just go for the INSEAD MBA, which is a great program? What was your thought process back then?
I think for many people, and as it was for me, MBA is a concept, something like a box to tick in your journey, in your professional path, but without knowing exactly what it brings to you, when to do it, how to do it, where to do it. And this is one of the many added values that you brought to me. I understood that at this stage I was 34. MBA is rather for 26, 29 years old. And the feedback that was, you could do it, but big part of the value you get in MBA is the class and your cohort. And the values you will get from them would not be equal to the values that you will bring because you have 6 years more experience than they do. So I started to rethink regarding executive MBA. Two of them are part-time, so it's a very different experience. You stay in your company, you keep working, you keep having your daily life executive and management problem or thoughts at least. So I was not very convinced. When I do something, I like to do it like 100%, to be dedicated. So I had a bit of doubt if I would be able to accumulate the both and take the most of this experience. Then this is the moment that you introduced me that also there are other type of program that historically was known as a Sloan MBA or Sloan Fellows. Basically, there are two popular ones in the US, which is one from Stanford and one from the MIT. It's true that I had my doubt if I was capable to do it at the beginning. This is the fantastic added value of a coach and someone like you that motivates you and reassure you. So sometimes I'm like, no, let's try. You have all the capacity and I will go with you through this process.
As I said, you had a phenomenal career and that's why, all of those numbers, all of those achievements that you had basically made me very confident in your ability to be a strong contender to Stanford. And I think being a strong contender is not a guarantee you'll get in, but as you said, at least you'll have no regret. I think it was very important for you to try that. And I'm very glad that I was able to convince you and push you towards the direction. But now you also touched basically one of the key motivations for you to pursue an MBA. So could you maybe explain us a bit more? What do you expect from your Stanford, MBA in the coming year?
Is of course to open new opportunities. I go there with some hypothesis I want to test, but my next step of my career is building lifetime relations with amazing people. There is already pretty strong connection with the whole cohort while the program starts only in 1 month. I think the benefit of this class is only 80 people. If I remember well, we are over 35 nationalities, so very, very international. People from all over the world, from extremely different backgrounds, all of them with so amazing stories. I can't wait just to spend 1 year to discover all of these people, all of these stories, and to build a relation with them and to work on some project with them will just be a lifetime experience.
This infamous, that personally I love that they say, but fairly infamous, what matters to you most and why? And you have 650 words more or less to make an impression, right? And I remember we had like many chords, we had many iterations going back and forth. And it took us a bit of, we kind of had an idea initially, but it took us time to really like nail it. Can you maybe walk us through like the process a little bit more like about from your perspective?
No, for sure. At the beginning, it's when you read this question for the very first time, it seems pretty obvious. Like we know what is important for us, but what is the most important and be able to explain why, it's another story. And what you think it will take you 1 or 2 days, indeed takes you a few months to be able to describe it. First is really to come back to almost the beginning of your life, of why did you do things, what did you do, try to remind everything. I was absolutely amazed in this process that I was starting to remember things that I dedicated my life, 2 or 3 years of my life, to specific things I was not remembering at all that I did it. To come back to all of this, to think like, okay, when I was even like 15 years old, why did I decide to do it? Why was I motivated to do it? And to start to understand like little by little what is deep inside you and what is pushing you. And I think I don't believe it's something you can do alone. At the end, the essay, you are writing it yourself. Think like if anyone is thinking about a coach, like someone who will write everything to you, it doesn't work like that. At the end, you are the one writing it. But someone that, as we say in good French, like you can hit the ball with, like playing tennis, and you have someone that is kicking you back, so you see how it comes. Also doing like a bit the mirror to you, to be able to go deeper into reflection. Like I remember so many times you asked me like, okay, you did it, but why did you do it? And then you move to that. What did lead you to do that? To at the end being able to articulate a full story with also an external point of view, which is absolutely crucial in this process. And that's what I said, like at the end, it's a fantastic learning process because I did understand what was really important for me. I know exactly why now, which was something very different to what I was thinking at the very beginning.
And do you mind sharing what matters to you most today?
It's very personal, but I'm transparent about it. For me, at the end, was always to push boundaries, to not let the context or what is around you limit yourself. I grew up in a small town in the north of France, in a great family. Like we are not billionaires, neither millionaire, but I never missed anything. But it's true that the context is not the most favorable for growth at the beginning. I believe growing there pushed me to say like, okay, I want to see further. I want to go see what is going further, and I will not let anything stop me. And this motivation is something that drove me indeed during all my life, during all my career, during my professional experience. There were some tough moments. There were some things that were not expected. And I never demotivated myself. I've always found the internal energy to say, okay, let's go further. Let's go to see what is higher, and let's not let this glass roof stop you.
How did you pick your referees, and how did you approach the reference letter process with your referees? Do you remember this?
Mm-hmm. The point is, the reference letters are pretty long and they are very detailed questions to answer. So you need some people that have materials that can say something about you. So you need someone that knows you for a very long time, that have gone with you through some experiences, through some difficulties. There were a few people that I worked in different countries because we were somehow following each other, from Poland to Spain, for example. So there were 2 people that still saw me in different contexts, in different culture. They saw me sometimes struggled, and they saw how I went around some difficult situation. Then it was for me the perfect people to talk about what I've done and who I am, because they had some very precise example how I believe in the real professional life context.
Like a common weakness among a lot of my applicants, and I think, right, remember like the first chat, you were like, yeah, I don't think I can get into a top MBA program. And I think like for an interview, having imposter syndrome is like, it's a red flag. So I remember like the day the moment to work on your interviews, what was like your approach to like really being able to confidently share your level of achievement, your career, but without sounding obviously neither arrogant, which is terrible, no, like feeling like, yeah, it's not amazing. Like, how did you find that balance? How did you walk your way through the interview?
Well, it's a lot of practice, to be totally honest. We made a lot of interview to find the right words, to find the right approach, the right lens. The approach was really to have a clear story on what were the different steps, to have also what was the long-time logic of it, that it didn't appear by magic. Every transition was very clear and was very well explained, and the rest to base it on facts and on figures. To say it like very coldly somehow, out, say like, okay, this is a figure. I will not tell you that this is amazing, it is big or no. This is a figure. It's you to judge. And even on the interview, for example, you say like the P&L I was managing was pretty high for my age usually. But the feedback from the interviewer is like, okay, not so impressive, because they're also meeting some people that are managing much bigger business and their own venture. So that's why I think when you just describe your story, how it is in a clear and logical way with just some facts to support what you are saying, that it's not complete bullshit. This is how it was. It went well. Like you build this link. Mm-hmm. You also then in the interview try to put some personal element, to be a bit emotional, to be a bit funny, and you are used for the people in front of you to react to it and to connect to you. And you know somehow that if the person doesn't connect, it's not so good. Mm-hmm. While I don't know if it's general, I will discover it in the US, but it's much more factual that you are making your long answer funny, emotional, personal, with things that are really touching you, and the people in front of you are like, thank you. Next question. And to be honest with you, at the end of the interview, I was convinced I will not go in because I didn't feel like I have built this connection. It's just also like about cultural awareness and cultural intelligence. That doesn't work. It just works in a different way.
Aside working with me, obviously, that is a given. Mm-hmm. What would be like the 3 advice you would give, like, MBA applicants, like the one who are going to enter the cycle now or next year?
First one, as we started the interview, try. Just give it a try, and don't limit yourself thinking like it's maybe not for me, I will probably not succeed. No, just give it a try, work it hard, and if you deserve it and if you work hard enough, usually it works at the end. Secondly, be conscious that it's a hard process. I think it's almost a job by itself. I was keeping working while I was doing the process, and it is tough on this because it's very intense. It's a lot of reflection. It's a lot of work for the different exam, for the application, for knowing more about the school, about the program, to start to network, to know people that did this program. So it's very, very intense, and you need to be conscious of it. At the end, I did the process in like 5 or 6 months. I would say like 3 to 6 months more would not have been too much. So it is a process that takes time and need to be anticipated. The third thing, don't underestimate the necessity to be well surrounded. I honestly believe it's not a process that you can attack fully alone. It's too complex, too many things to take into matters. The application process, I think even more when you're not American, for American university, has some specificities that we are not aware of, definitely. And for this, like having a coach and having a good coach, and I know only one, but I definitely know he is the best and he's in front of you now. And he helped me so much in this process. Also for GMAT, you need to be accompanied or surrounded. If you don't have much time, if you have 2 years to prepare it, maybe you can do it alone. But if not, better be well accompanied. And also apart from it, like all the people around you are critical, because I saw for myself, you start to live a bit like a monk. You wake up with your application, you eat with your application, you live with your application, you sleep with your application, and the people around you, the closest to you, somehow are suffering it because you are not living your life anymore. I had the chance at this time to have a girlfriend that was extremely supportive and understanding what I was doing. I remember I had some planned vacation with my parents. They didn't understand. Like I was on the morning closing myself in the room to work the application out and to work GMAT. I was going down for lunch, and then I was going back to this and say like, at the beginning, they said a bit like, if it's to come to vacation with us, to not see you, but I explained them and they understood. So be conscious of it, to be very well surrounded, and that the support of people around you will also be critical because it is almost a full-time job.
Those are very good advice, especially the last one. I think like people underestimate like the heaviness of the process to get into the top MBA program. Never underestimate like the impact of an application on your personal life. You're right. I mean, you need to prioritize, like you're going to deprioritize, your social life, your family, your friends for a while. But Antoine, it's been like a real pleasure to work with you. I mean, I can't believe we met like, 12, 13 years ago in Seoul, and like we had that chance to work together. I mean, life can be very surprising sometimes in a very good way. But yeah, it's been a real joy working with you. And I'm glad I've been like a very small part of your career success with this, like, little help we provide on your coaching. But you're a star, like, never stop dreaming, never stop like, breaking the glass ceiling. And I'm definitely going to look forward to hear from you as well on the news. So don't stop, Stanford is like the start of the next phase of your career. But super excited for you, Antoine, and like very, very, very proud of you. I can't believe like the guy I met in Seoul is going to Stanford now. Amazing story. Congrats again from the bottom of our heart.
Thank you so much for your support, Jonathan. Thank you for believing in me, for remembering me always to believe in myself as well, and for your never-ending support. It meant a lot, and you were a very big part of this process. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure, Antoine. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend in Madrid. Enjoy the weather, enjoy the food, enjoy the people, and like get ready for your big move to California. I'll see you soon, Antoine. Thanks again for your time.
Bye. Thank you.